started. How's it going, guys? And gals, I suppose, though my YouTube analytics would beg to differ. So today we are working on that large production order of parts. You may remember that I actually started setting this job up on stream like, was it a week ago? It might have been exactly a week ago. And I was intending on running it like 2 days later or like starting it on the next day. But I had like 2 small jobs that I thought would be quick and easy. And I was like, oh, I'll just do that on the Tormach because they'll be faster on that machine. And I don't want to set them up on the Haas because, I don't know, it's not the new shiny thing. So the first part that I thought was going to be a 1-day project ended up taking me like literally 75 hours. And it was a rough 75 hours. It was like 75 hours in 4 days. And it killed all of my scheduling and stuff. The second time that, I'm sorry, Alex, I know that I guess I started talking too soon, but the people who are watching the VOD will still get to see it. But anyway, I was working on parts. The first one took me far longer than I expected. It put me about 4 days behind. The second one actually went pretty smoothly, but at that point I was super burnt out. And so it probably took me, it took me like a day and a half when it should have been a day part. Again, just because I was kind of burnt out from doing like 75 hours in 4 days. So that put me way behind on the big production job, which is what we're starting on now. Starting today, I need to make 100 parts per day to get it done on time, which is going to be tough but doable. It might be a couple late nights to make that happen, but I really need to start going into production mode on these like now. The other reason I didn't go straight into production mode last time is because my setup parts came out bad, and I wasn't really sure why, and I had to move on before I could figure that out. Like if those had come out good the first time, then I could have just started going into production mode and worked on these in the background. But they didn't, and I just didn't have the brain cycles to dedicate to figuring out why at the time. And so I ignored it. And now I get to reap the benefits of ignoring it. I found a couple, well, there was one obvious mistake where I had originally planned on buying an 8mm tool for this tool. So, it has a 2mm ball nose it is a bull nose with a 2mm radius. And I had originally planned on getting an 8mm, and that's how I did it on CAD. And then the actual tool was a 3/4 inch, or 3/8 inch. So that was one of the causes of my mistakes. That was the big one. And then the second one, I'm not sure, but it seemed to have something to do with my Op2 fixture. It was like 5 thou, the part was sitting 5 thou too high. And I cannot explain why. My best guess is something to do with like a corner radius being left on the tool that cut that pocket that was causing the part to sit up and gollywoggle a little bit. And so I remachined that today, and I dropped the whole pocket down 10 thou, and I ran a tool around the contour, and I offset that down by like 2 thou. So hopefully that'll fix some of those issues, but that's something we need to keep an eye on. Hey everybody who's coming into chat. Hi Bleach. Hi Cheese with your weird messages as always. Hi Alex, thanks for holding down the fort. Bleach, I've been over 10K for, I don't know, at least a couple weeks now, assuming you mean subscribers on YouTube. And the other thing that was coming out of spec, I had a reamed hole. The hole was supposed to be 0.122 plus 2 minus 0. Or in other words, 0.123 plus or minus 1. So I had a 0.123 reamer, but the initial holes came out as 0.125, which is out of spec. I believe these are press fit for a dowel pin, and so we need to get that fixed. I checked the runout on the reamer, and as it was in there, it had about 2 thou of runout, which is, if you notice, the error that we were getting in the part. So I think that was our problem, or at least part of it. Let me get a piece of metal to sit you guys on. I did upgrade some of my camera equipment, specifically the phone holders. I 3D printed a better tripod mount for my little magnetic tripod. And while the magnetic plastic tripod is still not particularly rigid, I'm not as worried about the phone holder falling out, or the phone falling out of the phone holder. This is what the new one looks like, and then I also grabbed a clamp and put a ball head mount on that, so I have some more phone proppage options. But first, let's check runout on this tool here. I don't think you guys are going to be able to see. The actual numbers, but you can still hear me talk, I guess. Bleach, I did not hook up the USB camera, and thanks, Russ. I appreciate the good luck. What do I do with that tool? Okay. So don't let me forget to reset my length, please. So I also reduced some of the stick out, which might actually come back to hurt me. Reamers kind of like to have a longer stick out so they can follow the hole. But that's more of kind of a high-speed steel reamer thing. This one is carbide. Turn on the spindle. That has the exact same amount of run out. It's still 2 thou, or plus or minus 1 thou. That's not good. All right, let's find our high spot. I guess it is possible that the shaft that I'm measuring is different from the flutes. Should we try measuring it on the flutes? Let's see. So Bleach, to hook up that USB camera, I would need to be streaming from a computer where I could use OBS instead of my phone. Oh, this may actually answer our question. We might actually be good runout-wise. Unless we're maxing out the indicators travel. So before I was checking on the shank, now I'm going to check on the individual flutes, because sometimes there's a relieved portion on the shank that is not necessarily concentric to the flutes. I think on a reamer that wouldn't be true, but I don't know, maybe it is, because I'm seeing about 2/10 now. Let's give it a jiggle. Yeah, it's definitely in contact. Okay, so maybe the runout was a false alarm. So that was 0, that flute 0, -2, +1, 0, -2, -1. That error may be coming more from me touching the spindle and stuff. Okay, maybe runout isn't a problem. Matthew used Centro P tool holders for reamers. I can look into those. PK, yes, I cleaned out the tool holder. I went to a brand new collet, like right out of the package, and I cleaned the collet nut as well. I think that little relief section just isn't concentric to the flutes. So we should actually be fine there. Let me move you guys back over here. And where were we? Okay, so I made one other, set the length. We almost forgot to set the length. Daniel, am I leaving enough room on the pre-drill? I don't know. That's another thing we can check. I bought some smaller drills as well. Okay, but I need to run. I'm sorry, guys. I keep sneezing. Here, let me mute and go blow my nose. So I may not be leaving enough room on the pre-drill. I have different length tools if I need to use those. Or excuse me, different diameter tools. So if I find out, or if I'm still having issues with this reamed hole, then I'll switch to a smaller pre-drill. Now I don't have a huge variety of different tools. Like I think I only have one that's a thou or two smaller. They are these SGS PCB drills. So this one's a number 31, and this one is a 3.1 millimeter. So I don't know what those diameter differences are, but they are very close. So maybe that's part of the problem. We'll find out. Yeah, there is a world where I have to bore this hole with like a 1/16 inch end mill, and then buy a different reamer, but I don't know. The other thing is that will help is to interpolate the smart. Yeah, this hole's only 8 millimeters deep, so if I'm going to interpolate part of it, then I might as well interpolate the whole thing. I don't know. All right, so I need to rerun one contour on this part that did not come out in spec the first time. It was a little bit undersized, so I just manually comped it, and I'm gonna rerun that one toolpath now. You guys wanna see? I feel like you guys wanna see. Ooh, I'm not gonna take my big block of steel with me. I need like a selfie stick. All right, so this is just going to quickly rerun those slots that you cannot see because of the blur. There we go. Hi, Mike. How's it going? Yep, I'm glad you were able to catch it live too. I know I don't have a schedule, and I'm sorry about that, but it's just kind of random on whenever I get around to it. So I've been doing more lives this month because I've been too busy to record an actual video. Though I did record a video last night that I'm not sure if I'm going to publish or not. It didn't come out very well. It was just a talking head video, and the camera recorded from like the phone speakers instead of my microphone. So it's a talking head video where the talking is not very good. Maybe I'll just put it out for channel members or something. I don't know. Yeah, and it's always fun to work together. It's one thing, I don't know if you're a self-employed guy, but having a friend to work with is definitely something that you kind of lose going self-employed. This is hard with one hand. Daniel, I hope so, because I did not get another video out this month, well, last month, January. So, okay. When the doors open, you have to press this button, like as a safety thing, to be able to use the jog pendant, and it's very difficult with one hand. I guess in the future I should probably just close that door. I'm sorry if that was super loud. Okay, these slots came out a little bit undersized. Those are modeled at 0.177, but they're -0 + 8. Which is odd to me, but that's what they chose to do. So this is a 0.177 pin, and that's wiggly. Sorry, I'm holding you at an angle because I don't want to show you the drawing. 0.19, fits but tight. 0.18? 0.18 is a no-go. Okay. So we're at, not 0.18. No, yeah, 0.18. That's right. So 0.17 was nominal, or was the bottom of my range. 0.18 fits, 0.88 is oversized. So we're good. Okay, those little features should be fine. Yeah, Mike, I know where Danville, Illinois is. I think you mentioned that before, unless there's somebody else in Danville, Illinois. Okay, so everything should be good on these parts. And now we need to do op2. Now this op2 fixture is where we had issues before. So let's find out. Let me put you back into front mode. Or maybe I should put you, maybe I should put you guys to where you can see in the machine. Would that be better? Though I am going to blow my nose again. Allergies are... Yeah, let's put you in the machine. It wasn't you that said you were in Danville before? Huh. Okay, well, there's two of you guys in Danville, Illinois. Let's figure out the best place to put you here. I mean, if we were really brave, I might be able to put you in the machine. Oh, wait, I should switch to the back camera. Back camera would make more sense. Assuming the back camera is clean. And because, haha, this is so much easier with the better tripod mount. Oh, maybe not perfect yet. What if I do that? No, don't focus there. Do we put you guys in the machine? Is that a terrible idea? All right, we'll go back to the front camera, and I'm gonna put you guys way, way, way up high. It's dry up here. There's no coolant marks. What could possibly go wrong? Oh no, that could go wrong. Let me tighten that down. I think I just broke the tripod mount. Okay, so the tool is here. The center of milling should be back. Okay, let me use some pliers. There's like a thumb screw on here that tensions the ball on the tripod mount, and the thumb screw is too small for me to effectively tighten it enough. Gosh darn it, come on, tripod mount. You have one job. Is that enough? Again, the work area will be here-ish. I think that'll do, and hopefully not ruin my phone. I wonder if I have a McMaster bag to stick you guys in, because you don't need the audio. I'm going to do that. I won't be able to cover the entire phone, but I can cover my microphone at least, or the microphone receiver. I wish you guys could see how silly you look, but that should work. We need to get a backup phone fund. I have murdered my phone in a mill this before, and yeah, I didn't drop it because of the better tripod mount. Yeah, let's not crush my new 2-year-old phone. I buy phones used when I can. Okay, so op2. We need to get the part moved. So I just remachined the jaws a little bit. So we need to get that little spacer thing out. Come on, come out. There you go. So this is like a sacrificial shim that I use to clamp the jaws of the vise on. for when I machine the soft jaws. All right, let's get these guys out of here. And there is an edge on here that I'm not chamfering because I hit it in a different operation. Like this sidewall here isn't finished, I think. And maybe that is causing some of my issues. So I'm gonna manually just like with a stone, put an edge break on there just to make sure that's not catching like a radius that's on the inside of the corner of the Op2 fixture. Doing this with a ruby stone might have been the most inefficient way possible. And this is set up with a little notch in here so they can only go in one way. It's a little pokey yoke for you lean fanatics. And don't worry, chatters, I can still see the chat on my tablet, even though you guys are up in the corner of my machine. So I need to fix my feeds and speeds. This up here is way too rough. And make a note of that. I have an ongoing list of changes that I need to make here. So I'll just add a note, top, face, slower, feed. Okay. And you probably can't see it because of the angle, but I drew with like a Dremel an arrow right here that is pointing to the right, and that is telling me that I need to push these parts to the right as I seat them down in here. And that's just because there's some allowance in that pocket where it's easier to get them in. I feel like these are not sitting right still. They're wanting to shift themselves to the left. Why are they wanting to shift themselves to the left? Oh, that's weird. I feel like that one's not doing it as much. Yeah, the one on the right here is wanting to go like a lot to the left. Why is that? Is there a chip in there? Is there some weird corner round I screwed up or something? Yeah, that's like a 1/16 of an inch off, where it's not letting me push it to the side. Okay, what'd I do? I wonder if it's my poka yoke notch here. There's that little tab right there that is keeping me, I wonder if that's what's keeping me from pushing it all the way over. Interesting. Alex, I charged my phone to 100% this time, so we're good. That is so weird. Okay, well, maybe we need to cut those jaws again. That could also explain some of the accuracy issues I had there last time. So let's put my little sacrificial shim back in. And this is when I wish that YouTube would let you switch between like streaming on the computer and not. Because I can either try to yank you guys out of there again, or I can just go do it on my computer and leave you there. How about we do some Q&A? So ask me some questions while you guys stare at my machine, and you should be able to still hear my mic. And I'll bring my tablet with you so I can see. So I'm just gonna quickly go update some code here and spit out some new soft jaws. And I can try to figure out where I went wrong with this soft jaw design. I could just completely remove the little locating boss. How about a second set of machining? What do you mean? Skylar, you're right, I'll do that. Okay, fine. I'll bring the camera with me. This might take a second. We can always get you guys back up there. I'll bring you with me. I still wish there was a good way that I could stream my screen while also being on my phone, but the logistics on it are a little bit wild to manage. And we'll just have to take the time to get you guys set back up later. I can put Fusion on my other monitor so you can kind of see both of us. Come on. Stay put. All right, so these little bosses right there are the problem. Someone said, Skylar said to use the inspect tool. I could have sworn I already had, but let's go find it. Where's my parts? This is up to... so what he's talking about is if we come up here to the inspect and then interference, we can select our jaws and the parts and see where there's, okay, so it's a little bit there. The fillet on that locating boss does hit that part just a tad. I don't know why it's only that one part. Oops. No, not the simulation workspace, please. But that would do it. So let's go back to our soft, oh, I still need to be in the design workspace. Let's go back to our soft jaw, and I'm just going to use the press pull tool. And I should be able to just move this a little bit. I should probably move the other one for good measure. Just make it a wee bit smaller. Again, we'll make it a lot bit smaller. That part there is not actually doing any locating. It's just a poke-yoke feature to keep me from loading the part backwards. So the fact that my poke-yoke feature was causing errors is a little bit comedic. Oh, Bleach, you're happy you get to see more stuff being machined. As self-employed, do you get destroyed on insurance? It's the only reason you keep W-2 job. I assume you mean health insurance, and if you use just like the government, it's like healthcare.gov. If you go through healthcare.gov, you can adjust it based on income, and it's not the end of the world. But yes, that is a good reason. That is one of the big problems going self-employed in the United States in 2024 is healthcare is ridiculous. But if you go through healthcare.gov, you can get some like subsidized stuff. It's not outrageous, especially if you are single. It gets quite a bit more expensive for family. But basically the way it works is you get a tax credit, like a 1-to-1 tax credit. Not just a deduction, but a true credit. And so but then, which you would normally get back when you paid your taxes at the end of the year or through your quarterly estimates or whatever. But the way that it's set up is you can like take that tax credit early through the healthcare provider that you choose through healthcare.gov, and I don't know, it just kind of works. So I think like if you're single, you can get down to like $25 a month or something on that. If you have a family, it can be quite a bit more expensive. But again, welcome to health insurance. Okay, so I've just posted code that will only remove that material we need to be removed. It's going to be kind of slow, but very safe, which is what I was going for. All right, should we find a better place to mount you this time, or a better way? Oh, I meant to bring my laptop out. I forgot to do that. That way I could edit code at the machine, like I do on the other machine, on the Haas. All right, let's just stick you guys back up there. This time I'm gonna tighten this little thumb screw beforehand and hope it works. The thumb screw is breaking. Oh, nope, yep. I lost my little McMaster bag. Let's get you guys all safe back in here. And just take you back up. That's not terrible. Okay, the work is going on there. Is that reasonable? That's middle of the screen-ish, I think. Oh, I left my tablet. Hold on. Okay, I'm back with tablet. All right. Oop, get my vice handle out of there. This is all tightened down. I really need to get a torque wrench for this. My one that I was using broke on me. I think this is the right program. All right, let's see if we don't destroy my phone. I still haven't tightened those screws on my ATC. I really need to do that. We can switch from coolant to air. Oh, that's starting way too high up. Oh, you also can't see it. I tried so hard. Okay, I guess we need to put the camera lower next time. Well, if you're not going to see it, I might as well go to coolant, because the coolant is quieter. I really thought that angle would be good. I feel like there's more people in here than usual, but nobody's chatting. I don't have that much to talk about. I did see somebody, Frogtown Manufacturing. Thank you for becoming a channel member. I appreciate that. I know channel members right now don't get a huge amount of benefit, but I am trying to work on that, and I appreciate that. Oh, yeah, so about the chip situation, I have the washdown. Nope, not that button. I have the washdown, which normally does a pretty good job, but I got lazy about cleaning the chip bins. And if the chip bins overflow, it leaks onto my floor. But if the machine just ends up with a bunch of chips in it, then it doesn't overflow onto my floor. So if I used my wash down, this wouldn't be a problem, but I was just being lazy. So that's something I'll fix when I go into actual production mode. Frogtown, you do get at least 1 or 2 exclusive videos that I can't put on my public feed, so you can go look for those at very least. Like I said earlier, I have another video that I'm still deciding if I want to actually publish or not, about the 1500, where I talk about the process of buying it basically. But I had some audio issues, and the video just wasn't that exciting to begin with, and so I don't know if it's even worth publishing, but I have it, so I could. And for those of you that weren't here when I first started, so I'm working on this really big job. It's 2,000 pieces. The first 600 are due in about 6 days, so I need to make about 100 pieces per day. I was originally planning on starting this about a week ago, but I had a job go wrong that put me several days behind, and I'm playing catch up now. So I can get this first batch done in time, but it's going to be a whole lot of work, especially if I start behind by having these issues. So I really need to get into production mode. Once we get the first good part working, once we get to the point where we can just start rolling through production, that's the wrong vice handle, things become, then we can start focusing on optimizing. So originally I was planning on just spending this whole time optimizing, see if we can remove some time from the toolpaths. But But first we have to make a good part. Good parts first, reliable process first, then speed it up. So I was able to cut out a bunch of time the other day in CAD, or in CAM I should say. There's no guarantee that, like I did some speeds and feeds increases and stuff, and there's no guarantee that those are actually like going to work. I may see some chatter or something that would cause me to slow down those speeds and feeds again. Hey, look, our fixture works this time. And I really need to get a torque wrench. I wonder, I have a big torque wrench and a little torque wrench. And I think it was my little one that broke, and I may be able to get the big one in there. Or unless it was the big one that broke and I just have the little one. Skylar, you think I should post the video anyway? I just don't know if it's worth anybody's time. I could fix a little bit of it in editing, but I don't know. All right, let's find a better angle for you guys, because that did not work last time. We could try just going lower. Putting you a little bit in the danger zone here. So let's see, the machining is going to be there. We can give that a try. No, the machining is going to be here. No, it's going to move over here. Yeah, okay, machining will be there. So maybe this time it'll work. All right, let's load the new program. I'm going to do this in option stop, so it'll stop and it'll retract back to the corner between operations. Frogtown, 1 minute per part is about a week on 2,000 parts. Yeah. Fortunately, I just need 600 for this first batch, and then I have a bunch of other things. So, like, I have 2 months after this first batch. Tariffs are hitting, and hopefully more work on ZOM. I hope so. That would be nice. Though I may take a little bit of a break from Xometry for a bit here. I'm falling behind on other things. And I could spend some time. Plus, I'm starting my new class, like the one I teach for the university. That will be 20 hours a week for the next 8 weeks. I'm going to pay attention here. This tool path right here was where we had the biggest issues, because the work holding is not super solid, but there's still a decent amount of material removal. Remember when I said my increased speeds and feeds may not work super well? Yeah. This second op is probably going to be my longest op for this very reason. If you can't see, the part is now at a 90-degree angle to where it should be. Which is less than ideal. That was my tool. The tool's fine. We can probably actually save this part too. Definitely is like a setup part. I wonder if it's partially because I have 2 parts in here. Hi Scott, I'm live for the record. Oh no, that definitely ruined that part. But we'll still save it as a setup part. Scott's here. We can hang out with Scott some. I don't know if they can hear you without a mic. You can put on a mic if you want. I'm busy scrapping parts. Should I get the torque wrench, guys? Is that my problem, or is this fixture just inherently flawed? I might be able to sink it a little bit lower. I can't. There's no obvious damage to the fixture. I would hate to go to 1 part at a time, but that may be what I need to do so I could center it in the vise. Scott's getting his mic on.
Is it just on already?
Russ, the part just kind of, it should be on. If I look at the camera, I can see if it's connected. Yep, you're connected. Russ, the part just kind of pivoted out a little bit. So, yeah, I know torque's back, but my torque wrench is... Okay, my little torque wrench works. It's the big torque wrench I broke. And if I can find the right tool, I can fit it in there. All right, let me take you out of the machine. Ugh. Hi, Scott.
I was like, what camera are you using?
Do you like my waterproofing for it?
Yeah, it's good.
Here, tell the people what you're here for while I run away for a second.
Oh, I guess I'm running my first part on my tiny Shoreline mill. AJ's going to help.
Can we move it out here?
Yeah.
So you can be like in the same camera frame?
Yeah.
I
brought my tiny, terrible, cheap tools.
We know we're gonna break end mills on the first try tools.
Yeah, my tools that cost like 80 cents a piece.
I wonder, the question is, do you need to use the Haas to make a mounting plate or anything first?
Yeah. I never got the chance to design it, so.
That is the first step.
But I basically just have to, I mean, it's going to take me 10 seconds, right? All I really need to do is find the measurements for where things are.
This is classic. I can't find a 10 millimeter socket in my box of socket junks.
I'm now familiar with that problem.
I mean, yeah, we can make you a mounting plate on the Haas.
Yeah.
If you would like.
I mean, if you didn't figure that out, that's why I was asking if your other machine was running.
I did figure that out.
Okay, that's why. I kind of figured you would figure it out, which is why I didn't.
Close enough?
Why I didn't elaborate.
Oh, that one fits. It's a little bit loose, but it should do. There's got to be a 10 millimeter in here somewhere. Did you bring a laptop, or do you need to use my computer?
If I'm gonna CAD, I need your computer.
Would you like to run inside and grab my laptop?
Sure.
So I was going to bring it out here anyway, and I forgot.
Where is it?
It's inside on the table that's next to the big recliner. It's pretty obvious. If you walk into that room, you'll see it right away. Just tell my wife you're stealing my laptop. She'll be fine with it.
I could not tell her that and she'll be fine.
Or just look at her and not say anything. Okay. What did I do with my torque wrench? Aaron, you said you started on a Shoreline style mill. Yeah, I had a Shoreline mill. It was my first mill. Yeah, it was my first mill. I had a router before then. It was great. All right, we have a torque wrench. Now, do I know the torque spec on this vise? No, but actually it might say on the vise. 40 Newton meters. What's 40 Newton meters in inch pounds? I feel like it's a lot of inch pounds. I was just looking for my phone to do that conversion. We can do that on the tablet here. 40 Newton meter to inch pounds. Newton meters. We're 354. All right, we're just going to max this thing out, and that's all we can do because my big torque wrench is broken. I don't know, there-ish. And let me check to make sure that I got these kind of started. I assume I'm still in screen. I need to pull chat back up on my tablet. 1 second. So we'll get those roughly seated with the normal wrench and then tiny torque wrench. Wow, that really doesn't feel like much. I don't know if that's actually more than what we did before. I'm not convinced this is going to help anything. I think the biggest thing I need to do is back off my speeds and feeds a little bit. Dang it, and then the thing got stuck because it's not actually the right size. I'll need to order a new one. All right, let me bring chat back up. Hi, Nate. How you doing? Oh, Nerd Like Us, you did the conversion for me before I could see. Thank you. And I should use the same torque spec as I have on the, when I do the initial setup. Yeah, the self-centering will kind of fix that a little bit, but we shall see. All right, I'm going to dial down those speeds and feeds a little bit too, because I think those were actually some of the speeds that I picked up some, and I shouldn't have picked those speeds and feeds up. Again, reliable right now is more important than fast. So it's a 3/8 inch end mill. Let's go to 3 thou feed per tooth. Did I make a note? I did make a note. Last stable was 0.0025 feed per tooth. Okay. So we know 0.025 feed per tooth works. We'll step down my optimal load a little bit. We can optimize this toolpath later. Right now, we just need a toolpath that works. Works first, then optimize. And we'll see how far we can push it. But yeah, that added a couple minutes to our cycle time, which is why I bumped up that feed rate before. Because the second op is longer than our first op. And it's mostly because the roughing has to be slower because our work holding is worse. So maybe I just need to improve the work holding. Once we get this running, we can start designing new soft jaws and then trade them out. I don't think, yeah, it doesn't make sense to run this in the big vise and run op 1 in the little vise. That doesn't make sense. I really don't want to flip to 1 part per cycle, but that's another option. All right, did I post that code? This is op2, let's post that. All right, and we can try again. I could also maybe go to a smaller tool, higher feed rate, that might balance out. But, all right, back in the machine with you guys. Maybe I should put like a bar for you. Where'd my other? So this clamp is a lot more stable than the 3D printed plastic frog pod, though the frog pod is actually fantastic and works well. But if I like stuck a semi-permanent bar in here and hung you guys from the bar, that might be the way. And let me clean off this table for you, Scott.
Okay.
As the people in the machine just watch an empty machine doing nothing.
That sounds fun.
I do nothing but thrilling content here.
What? This is what I was given.
Yes.
I mean, I know this is your laptop, but I don't know about this.
That's a charger.
Thanks. I didn't know if it was the right one.
You can use anything USB-C on that laptop.
Okay.
Let's clean off this table a little bit.
Okay.
You can plug it into a 1 amp USB-C and it will charge. It won't be happy about it. It'll charge very slowly, but it won't like complain and freak out. Okay, you can get started now. Chat, we'll move you guys in a second here so you can see everything that's going on. The jaws bow upward when being tightened, creating a taper in the sidewalls. So, over tighten or under tightening? Do you mean over tightening? Means you have less contact between the. That's very possibly part of the problem here. I just don't know yet. But okay, basically same program, slower speeds and feeds on the 3/8 roughing. All right, Mr. Machine, if you could not throw my parts this time, that would be great. Hold on, Scott. Okay, wait, I'm gonna pause it here. Is it this? Is it this? No, come on. Okay, it must be this. There we go. All right, so far so good. It's definitely slower. I don't love that. It's not quite chatter, but it's just louder. I guess that means it is chatter. It's just less offensive chatter. Right when it comes around there. It's actually when it's taking less deep of a cut. Yeah, nerds, it'll trickle charge. Yeah. It takes it like 3 days to charge on a 1 amp charger, but it'll do it. So this is the longest tool path in the entire part. If we can optimize this, we can save a whole lot of time. So what is your plans? Are you still connected? Because you walked out of range? I can't tell because there's a bag over the microphone.
I put it down, so I hope so.
Oh, you left it here?
Yeah.
Okay. It would have been really funny if everybody on chat could hear your conversation.
I have too much experience with that exact scenario.
Nerds, yes, this is an adaptive tool path. It should be climb. Oh, you guys are reversed. Yeah, Bleach called it. Aiden, because I'm using the selfie cam on my cell phone, it is reversing the image. I don't love that sound.
It's not your favorite sound?
There's definitely like some vibrating going on. Yeah, nerd, the video is mirrored because it's on my cell phone. I may be able to turn that off in settings, I don't know. I could also break this up into 2 separate tool paths, because here it's taking a really shallow depth of cut. So Scott, so we said adapter plate. Are you gonna make a super glue arbor or a mounting plate for one of those little Chinese vices?
If I can only do one, I was going to do the Chinese vice, but I would like to be able to do both.
Okay. If your goal is to make orange slices, just knocking out a really quick super glue thing would be better. Did you get T-nuts?
Oh, no, I did not.
So we may want to start with T-nuts then.
Because are we making them?
I mean, if you don't have them.
Did you say they use weird T-nuts?
They do use weird T-nuts.
Wow. I forgot they use weird T-nuts.
They're teeny tiny little T-nuts.
I'm sorry for not buying the weird T-nuts.
Hey Jacob, how you doing? Is it aluminum? No, it's 1018.
Will the specs be the same on this new one as the old one?
Yeah, shorelines are super, super standard. They haven't changed forever.
I don't know. This is
There's
probably
been
the wrong
some
sheet.
minor improvements to like how they do backlash compensation,
Yeah, this is the wrong sheet.
but they're pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, this part sounds good. Oops, wait, I just closed chat. Come back, chat. Where'd you go? I don't know how to make you come back. Oh no. What if I close and reopen the stream? Hey, okay, you're back. Yeah, these are just 1018 steel. I would love if these were aluminum. It would be so much faster. And it would probably avoid a lot of like some of the problems that I'm having on this operation where things just start to get thin and skinny. But we should almost be done with roughing. Bleach, this is a 3/8 inch. It's either from Online Carbide or Lakeshore Carbide or Haas Tools, I don't remember. Okay, it's done. It was running at just over 4,000 RPM, 2.5 thou feet per tooth. All right, now we're on the other one. So this part is still theoretically good. So I would love to be able to move this one to the next station if possible. I actually have a spare one that, never mind, it's only gone through op 1. So I don't have a spare. You guys are still hanging in there. You hate 1018? Yeah. It is cheap though, which is nice when you're making 2,000 parts. You should be able to find a 3D model.
Oh, is that
I don't know about
There's
the T-nuts, but
There's a 3D model or 3D view.
yeah, right there, CNC ready IGES model.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know that's what I was looking for.
Yeah. At very least, you can pull the dimensions of the T-slot off of that in Fusion. Huh, the little Shoreline vise is only 90 bucks. That's actually a pretty decent little vise, and it's the same price as the Chinese ones.
What do I open this with?
Fusion. You'll have to open Fusion and then upload it.
Oh,
Oh no, you're gonna be using my Fusion. Can you log into your Fusion?
sure.
Because if you log into my Fusion, then I'll lose it on my computer and we'll keep fighting over it. Bleach, it's a 3/8, which is not quite 10 millimeters, or a little bit more than 10 millimeters. One of the two. No, it's not really that much. Daniel, you heard that Haas is going to start selling materials? That kind of does seem like the next logical step for them. And if it's as good and cheap as their tools, I'm all for that. 71 people here. Mine says 73, which I think might be a record. Your flat toolpath won't generate. Is your surface actually flat? I am Bohananan Mechanical Design, thanks. Shopping list for the shop. I need a whole bunch more Aroa stuff. I need a robot. Those are kind of the big things in mind. I need to probably just stock up on some tooling. The Shoreline vise, is it aluminum? I don't remember. Oh, you're Bleach, we're at 76. The actual total number of people that tends to watch these streams is like 1,000 or so, but not simultaneous. Simultaneous, it sits around like 60 to 70. Hi, Luck Photos. How you doing? So, but I don't know, they're growing. It helps when I do them on Saturdays, and it helps when I actually give people notice, which I don't always do. If I was a little bit more consistent, it would help. All right, we're almost done with the roughing. That did not sound great. It sounded like I caught a corner there or something. Yes, it is 5 flutes on this end mill. It sounds good most of the time, but it's a pretty conservative cut, and it's way too slow. I should do shameless plug on Discord. I did announce the stream on Discord.
I do not know how to use Fusion with a
You don't know how to use Fusion?
mouse pad
Oh, get a mouse.
or without trackpad.
Yeah, the answer to using Fusion with a mouse pad is don't.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not so bad if you have a touch screen. It has a dongle that's inside there and you need to flip the switch. But all right. So for those of you who are just joining, I need 6,000 of these. No, I don't need 6,000. I need 600 of these in 1 week's time. I need a total of 2,000 of them, but the next batch is 800, and that's not due for like 2 months. And then a couple months after that, it's like another 600. Ooh, that tool's done.
What is going on?
All right, now we're switching to a 1/2 inch finisher 5 flute. The finisher is exactly the same as my rougher, but I only use it for finishing. When this tool starts to get worn out, I'll demote it to be a rougher. Okay, I was worried about that. That sounds fine. Daniel, yes, I do the winner circle thing. I got it for like $5, which is pretty cool. They had or $10. They had a discount on their discount membership, which is a little funny when you think about it.
Okay, I've opened the file.
Sorry, I had to stop and pay attention there for a second. What?
I've opened the file.
Okay, now you can hit I for inspect and measure the slots there.
They've made it black.
You can hit A for appearance and drag a new appearance onto there, but I don't know if you guys can hear that kind of weird chirping that was on that toolpath. That's just because it's an interrupted cut traveling across a hole.
Okay, what am I measuring?
How big to make your T-nut?
I've never made a T-nut, so I don't really know. Just the whole slot?
Hold on 1 second here. Let me get through this toolpath and I'll show you. Actually, is this the last toolpath in the program? Oh, there's a chamfer. Yeah, so basically you need a thing that'll fit in that.
Okay, and
So basically that shape with a little bit of clearance.
yeah. Do you need this?
No, you can use that. All right, I'm going to answer that for a second. If I need to make, let's see, 600 in a week is a little under 4 minutes each. Sounds like I'm going to be tired. Yeah. Little shop of random, I assume that is if you assume I'm working 8-hour days, and I will not be working 8-hour days. Straight up revving, long-time viewer, first-time stream. Yeah, I don't know if this setup is rigid enough. Full flute depth of cut, 10% step over, 4 thou. I was just at 4 thou feed per tooth, and about a 10% step over, but no, it was not rigid enough. That was the problem I was seeing. Little Shop of Random, no, this is not 420. This is 1018. So that was the bull nose. That just did that little inside corner radius. Now we're going back to the 3/8. Did I hit cycle start again? That was going to do the roughing again. I thought there was a chamfer. Did I press the wrong button? Hold on. I think I did something. Okay, so there was the 2D contour. I must have, out of habit, pressed something on my controller. All right, now we're going to do those chamfers. Excuse me?
You're excused.
This is a bug that I have seen, and I'm not sure what's causing it. But what just happened there is it's saying the tool setter lost connection, except the tool setter is not supposed to be on anyway. And there's something, I don't know what it is, but there's some combination of things where if you do them, it turns on the tool setter, and then it gets upset when the tool setter goes to sleep or loses the connection or whatever. And the easiest way to fix that is just to touch off a random tool, because that'll automatically put the tool setter to sleep. But it's something where if you like stop in the middle of a program, it turns on the tool setter, and I don't know why. I am Mechanical Design. The Discord, I know this is messy. The Discord is for the Patreon account for the podcast, which is technically a different business entity than the YouTube channel. So the only way to get into the Discord is to go support the Taps and Patience Patreon, and that gets you to the Discord. I know that's a little bit confusing, and I've done this to myself, but I don't really know how to fix it, short of just letting other people in, or what? I don't know. I don't have a good way of fixing it.
You did do that to yourself.
I did do it to myself. The thing was, I didn't expect anybody to really listen to our podcast, and so I didn't pay attention to it. But now we're actually a pretty large podcast, and so people actually watch it, and it's become a problem.
Oh, my success.
That was scary.
Hey, AJ, why did Shoreline do this?
Probably because it's an aluminum extrusion. And there's like some weird draft angles. Are you sure you measured it right?
Yeah, I'm sure. How would you have measured?
I don't know. Like sometimes you just press the wrong buttons, like the wrong surfaces sometimes.
Well, I did it more than once.
It's probably because it's an aluminum extrusion and they need some like weird draft angles and stuff. All right, let's get you guys out of here so you can kind of see what's going on with Scott. Excuse me, Scott, you were in the way. Where would be the best angle? I could put you in the corner on the other clampy, and I can get rid of the bag. Okay. You guys are no longer in a bag.
They were only like 1/3 in a bag.
Yeah, I was more worried about the, they were just looking at my hand for like 2 minutes there. I was more worried about the microphone thingy that's on here than the actual phone, because the phone has some amount of waterproofness, whereas the microphone has 0% waterproofness. All right, enjoy the nose hair view for a second. And we'll see if this works. Cool. You can come hang out with my air quality meter, guys. In case you're wondering, we're at 53 parts per million. Okay. Now, rotate, please. Oh yeah, it's like a whole shop view.
What is it in like someone's house?
The air quality,
Yeah.
it's between like 0 and 20.
Oh. Okay.
Unless you have like a dog or like if there's a lot of motion that's going on, it can go up quite a bit, but hi guys. All right, so yeah, you do have like the CCTV type angle. Maybe someday.
What's the channel that shows Congress? What is that? What is it? Looks
C-SPAN?
Like, yeah, it looks like that.
We got the C-SPAN view. All right. I need to check these parts. This also works out because I'm less likely to accidentally violate an NDA.
That sounds positive.
Where did my wrench go?
So now what, I just make this very basic shape? What kind of clearance do I give this?
I don't know, 5 thou on each side. Get an iPad and it'll zoom in on you automatically.
You can do that with things that aren't iPads. But...
Okay, this is the same thing I hit before. This dimension here is way undersized. I wonder if the other one's the same, because it could have come up. Yeah, this one's about the same. It's like 5 thou undersized. And actually, I can tell it wasn't quite sitting flat, because one of the sides is a little bit thicker than the other. Man, also that chamfer missed. What is going on, guys? That is a Wise camera on the side of the machine, and that's so I can watch it run when I'm not here. I can't stream that directly. Put Velcro everywhere. Why is this so far off? All right, so this thickness, yeah, it's like 10 thou undersized, which it should not be. I just recut that fixture, so it's the same work coordinate system. Tool pull out, maybe? That's a possibility. Let me get the wrench off. All right, so that's cut by that 3/8 tool. Actually, that gets cut by 2 different tools. But let's check both of them, I guess. So it starts with tool 101, which is my 1/2 inch finisher. I don't know if tool pullout explains it. Unless my tool that I use to make my fixture is wrong. But let's go through this one at a time. All right, so this is 3.641 right now. Let me clean this off and set the tool length. So this should still be, 0.6415. It should be close to that. We shall find out. Did I say which is should not be? That does sound like a thing I would say. 0.6415. That's the same number, right? So that doesn't seem to be the problem. All right, let's check the tool that has the radius on it. Nope, don't make a new folder. I didn't mean it. Cancel, please. Okay. What's the radius? That is tool 6. But there's no blend line between the two tools. If there's no blend line, then they both should have their lengths good. what else could we do? Why is this coming out short? I mean, my only thought is the fixture is bad. I don't know why anything else would be causing it to be wrong. So let's measure this one. All right, this one is 0.784. So if it's not 0.784, then that could be problematic. Do I just need to restart these soft jaws from scratch? And that is 0.7849. So it's 9/10 difference, which could just be thermal or a chip or something. Let's check the tool that I used to make the soft jaws, which that was somewhere. Which tool is that? $300. How tall are my ceilings and garage door? The ceilings are just under 8 feet. They're just under 8 feet, so like 95 inches or something like that. All right, so this is the tool that I use for the soft jaws. If this is wrong, it could explain our issues. So 0.978. 0.9782. The garage door was like 75 inches or something. It was still very tight to get this machine in. 9782. 9792. That's still only a thou. It doesn't account for all of our discrepancy. What else can we do?
5 thou seems like not very much.
I don't think you can fit a VF2 with 8-foot ceilings. We cut the soft jaws in place. Yeah, nerds, my plan is to eventually move this to a pallet. I just haven't had time yet. Why is it cutting that too small?
You mean 5 thou on each side or 5 thou?
I think I meant 5 thou on each side, but so 10 thou. T-nuts don't have to be particularly precise. You definitely can make them tighter, but. So you're in millimeters?
Oh, I am, but.
I was referring to a thousandth of an inch.
I was just writing it
in. Harris, tool runout wouldn't be Z. Oh yeah, you can poke a hole in your ceiling to get a VF2 in. It also doesn't explain why. I feel like something is wrong with my cam. I don't know how else to explain it. All-time favorite manual machine? I mean, I like lathes. I can't really be more specific than that. It's referencing a surface that was machined in Op 1. I have done some screwing around with these soft jaws. Like, they've been through a number of revisions. Did we just remake the soft jaws? I'm running out of other ideas. Allen wrench, this is what I was looking for. Should we move security camera view a little bit in closer? Scott looks at camera skeptically. This might be a wee bit better. we have 75 people now. Hi, 75 people. We're trying to figure out why my fixture isn't working.
And I'm making a T-nut.
And Scott's making a T-nut. That's a little bit better. M. Take Z from the bottom of the jaw pockets. Measure the soft jaw height. I can do that. Do I measure it with the probe? Because I don't think calipers are necessarily going to tell us anything because I've done so many shifts. So let's, no, that's still, no, yeah. Let me convince it the door's open. Okay. Measuring the soft jaws with calipers does not actually help us here because I've shifted it down a couple of times. So where it thinks the top of the soft jaws are, air blast is so annoying. Where it thinks the top of the soft jaws are won't match up with reality. Which is fine because nothing is referencing off the top of the soft jaws. But this probe is fairly accurate, and if this reads that the floor is 10 thou off, but it won't because I just machined it in place. So there's no reason why this would not read exactly nominal. Because you're basically, what we're measuring is the error of the tool plus the repeatability of the machine plus the arrow in the probe. All right, so that's negative 0.301. Let's see what that's supposed to be in CAD. One second, guys. Excuse me as I'm in the other room. I know this is exciting content again.
Never watching me while listening to you talk.
What'd you say, Scott?
You don't want me to yell.
It's fine. The mic will fix it. Well, that is reading 5 thou off, which accounts for half of our error. Why, or 6 thou? Why is this reading 6 thou different, guys? Let's check this other pocket here. So, yeah, that one's about the same. I did remachine these jaws like 3 times, and I'm wondering if I screwed something up. Oh, I was confused there for a second, but I accidentally probed that little poke yoke feature. Yeah, that one's dead on. Wait, I've already forgotten the number. Maybe that one is the same. That one's the same. Matthew, that's possible. I think we remachine this entire fixture because I'm coming up at a loss. And maybe we double check that end mill that I used to finish it for a corner radius. So I am just gonna take these things out of here, take out the soft jaws completely, put in a new pair, and hope it works this time. Actually, I can probably use the same set of soft jaws and flip them around. Something is weird going on. I'm missing something. I don't know what it is. There's either some interference with the part and the part in the fixture that I'm, don't fall in there. Not under. The Allen wrench is slippery. The fixture is not moving. It could have been damaged, but it's not moving. Oh, hi, Harrison. I didn't throw a part. I aggressively tilted a part. Yeah, 6 thou was within tolerances of the machine. I can't figure out why I'm not getting these parts in spec on Op2, Harrison. It should be pretty simple. It's Z height that's coming off. I've checked my tool lengths. I skimmed my soft jaws at one point. I machined the soft jaws right in place, so they shouldn't be giving me issues. Are you waiting on me, Scott?
Yeah.
What do you need?
I was trying to find a place to stand that wasn't directly in front of you on the camera.
Oh.
But now it looks like I'm staring at you.
I mean, you were staring at me. Are you ready to start making those?
I know, because I don't know how to make a, what do you call it, a tapped hole.
Okay, so you need to figure out what thread you want, and then you go look up a chart online, and it'll tell you the tap hole size for that thread.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what size hole do I want to make?
An M3 or an M4 might be good. I should have those screws laying around.
But does it have anything to do with what size? Oh, is it just what size the plate is going to be? What size will...
So you just need a thread that's small enough that it'll fit through that T-slot.
I mean, I like M4s.
Grab one of those M4s from the box there and just go bring it to your machine and make sure that it fits through the slot. Like if it fits through the slot and it's got some clearance on either side, then you should be good to go. Elijah CBR 600, are you EJ from the Discord? Yeah, Harrison, it seems to be Z-axis only. There was a chamfer that came out weird on that last part, but that hasn't happened until now. I'm not sure what happened there. Okay. I did not recognize your YouTube name. Jacob M3 is probably too small for a Shoreline. Shorelines are awfully small.
You'll probably see it later, depending on how long you want this to go.
What?
I said we could bring it out later, depending on how long you want this to go.
Yeah. That's what I thought we would be doing.
Yeah.
Whoever was saying that the soft jaws on this kind of vise might be the problem, I don't know. They're pretty reliable. I haven't had this issue before. I've made parts with sub-thou tolerances before on these vices. Like, skill issue, sure. Vice issue, eh.
I need your login again, because you have a 60-second logout apparently.
It's because it's not plugged in. Let's see. I don't think the screws that I'm holding the vice jaws down with are bottoming out. He says as he has a hard time getting the soft jaws on. My first thought is still something weird in cam. Harrison, I already checked for tool pull out, both on the tools that are making the parts and on the tools that made the fixture. Let's see. It is coming out too thin, Harrison. So overcutting, undercutting, I don't know. There's a 10 thou chamfer around the part. I could make it bigger. The other thing I'm wondering about is there is a portion that I am leaving unmachined because it gets picked up in a future op. Maybe that's doing something. I think I just cut myself, and I don't know what on what. I drew an arrow on the soft jaws, and now that I've reversed my soft jaws, the arrow is pointing the opposite direction.
Do I use coarse?
Yeah. M4 by 0.7, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a chip in the spindle, because again, my tool lengths were fine. Where did my little spacer go? This time I'll tighten it consistently with the torque wrench.
Okay, now it's ready. Assuming I'm just putting a hole in.
Okay. Let me go post a new version of this soft jaw. Can I show you a zoomed view of the parts in the soft jaw? I'm trying not to show the parts closely. That's part of my problem. What? Yeah.
Okay.
But it's just a rectangle that's actually sitting in there. There's nothing wild. What material are you going to make those out of, Scott?
Make what out of?
Your T-nuts.
I have no idea.
I mean, you could probably do steel. Honestly, brass wouldn't hurt. The aluminum table, or the Shurelines have an aluminum table. So, all right. Sorry, guys, I know this is enthralling content. I'm just reposting this code. I need to check a couple things because I have made a bunch of tweaks. 1 second. All right, let's run these soft jaws. Harrison, yes, it's a 3-op part. Right now my issue is between op 1 and op 2. Something is happening here that's making the Z height wrong. And that definitely propagates down the rest of the operations. All right, so let's rerun these soft jaws. This is a freshly touched off tool. Okay. Should I bring you guys back over for a second?
Are we going to do anything interesting?
We can do something interesting. I mean, there's not really too much to show here. It's just coolant. I really wish there was an easy way of doing multicam, but you'd have to set it up with OBS.
Yeah, that's not too hard once it's set up.
Yeah. All right, you're not missing much there, guys. It's just cutting. So wait, what are we doing? Are we camming that? Is that our goal?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start by finding a block of material.
Okay.
So how big is your part?
0.4 by. I didn't ask you how wide to make it, so I just kind of made it look nice.
Yeah, I would just make it square.
Oh, you would make it a square? That's not a square.
I would make the top a square. This is Scott's T-nut.
I mean, it's almost a square. Close enough?
Close enough, yeah.
Okay.
It's a T-nut. It's fine.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to measure.
I mean, making it wider would spread out some of the load on the aluminum T-slot that the Shurelines have.
It's in
but
the the program is in millimeters, but it's all dimensioned in inches.
that's fine.
Because I didn't want to, I don't remember how to change it, and I didn't want to Google it.
You do it in the top left corner where it says unit, document settings, and then in there is units.
Yeah. Well, it's
So that's only a 1/4 inch.
yeah.
Man, Shurelines are small.
Yeah. So it's like 0.4 by 1/4.
Yeah. I wonder if we have any round material. That would be the most convenient. See if you can find some like steel round or some stainless round that the part would fit in. Right hand side is kind of my steel stuff. How big is that?
I mean, it seems pretty big. I didn't bring anything to measure with.
Because I would like to salami slice these if we can. What does the tag say? It's just boring mild steel, but
Hot rolled mild steel.
it doesn't give you a diameter.
No.
Okay, well. Go measure it with calipers. And when you have a square part and round stock, a lot of the times the easiest thing to do is to just draw the circle over the part to make sure that it fits. Or draw a circle of the right size of the stock in Fusion to make sure it fits. That way you don't have to like calculate diagonals or anything. Racist Timmy, how many parts have I made? Successfully 0. Harrison, I checked to make sure they're not slightly off. Is there something else that's possibly happening? Sure. Scott's stealing all my material? Yeah.
All? It definitely fits.
Yes, we have 2 separate projects going on here. What?
It definitely fits.
Cool. Okay, we'll use that and we'll salami slice this thing. So now you need to go into cam. What size material did you say that was? It doesn't matter. We'll use the 3-jaw chuck. We're making it out of round because that's easier to hold in a 3-jaw chuck. Okay. Or to hold in a, I don't know. It's just easier, trust me.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Oh, actually, maybe it would be easier to do in one of these. Because these are Aroa, whereas that is not. I changed my mind. Maybe we do one square. Unless it happens to fit into one of those collets, which I don't have a huge... Oh, look, I do have those. What diameter did you say it was?
0.635.
5/8?
I don't remember what the conversion is.
Is this ear? Okay, cool. Here's your work holding setup, Scott. We got this collet going into this little Aroa pallet thingy.
Okay.
So... Are you ready to start programming?
I think so.
Okay.
Is this where I'm supposed to be?
So we need to start by making you're in the manufacturing environment. You need to start by making a new setup. Setup is the folder with like the square in the top left corner there. Yeah. And then it will... Did you press the button? Okay.
Yeah, it just took a long time.
My computer's running slow apparently. So we need to set up our material first and set where the work coordinate system is being referenced. So it's to set the work coordinate system, we're going to do that with like these buttons down here. For orientation, I normally do select Z-axis or Z plane and X-axis, that first one there, yep. And then click on the very top of your part, like that, yep, right there. And so now that it knows the Z-axis is pointing straight up. And then for X-axis, it doesn't really matter, but basically just click on one of the edges. So like one of the corners that's going left and right. Yeah. And that's just telling it where our X-axis is. And now you can go and set up the stock in the second tab on that toolbox on the right and change it to whatever size material that you measured. Oh, and on the very top, you can tell it to be round. So I would do a fixed sized cylinder and type in your numbers there. This is waiting for me because it's an option stop. Just to be safe, I'm going to do that and that. And then watch to make sure it doesn't do anything dumb. Cool.
What should I tell it the length is?
Give it a really big length. Give it like 30 millimeters because we're going to salami slice it. And then where model position, change that to offset from front and make that like 0.5 millimeter, 20 thou. Make sure you type inches there. We should switch to doing the cam in imperial because all of our tools and everything is imperial. But we can change that in a second here. That's fine. You should be good just to hit OK now.
This is fine?
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so let's change to inches because I have an easier time doing cam in inches.
Yeah.
Top left corner on the tree, like the down one, where it says units, change those to inches. And sorry, guys, I've been ignoring chat. How rigid is the Aroa setup? I haven't really noticed any loss of rigidity in it. I'm sure if you put it in like a VF6, you might. But no, I haven't noticed any lack of rigidity. And Timmy, I feel like I'm missing some context on something. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, so Sunshine, you just getting here? We are doing 2 projects at the same time. We are doing Scott's, like my first milling project, and then we are trying to get this big production run up and running, because oh boy, do I have to make a lot of these. So we were having some accuracy issues. We don't know why, but we're blaming our second op soft draws right now, so I'm just starting from scratch, remachining them, and we'll see if that makes a difference. I'm not yet convinced, but it'll at very least tell us something. When I was first setting these up, I did remachine the other pockets a bunch of times, and so I think I just screwed something up during that process, and hopefully this solves all of our problems. All right, are you ready for your first tool pass?
Sure.
So let's start with a 3D adaptive. It's in that, 3D drop-down box doing adaptive clearing. And I think since we're on your account, we're probably going to have to start with some of the Fusion template tools and then customize them. So in the first button in that toolbox showed up. It's where you set your tool. You can click that, and yeah, you don't have any tool libraries yet. So just go find a 1/8 inch cutting tool somewhere in one of those libraries. I don't know why it's not showing you anything right now. I can give you my Haas libraries.
It's just not.
And maybe that's, try milling tools inch. There you go. See if you can find a 1/8 inch.
Radius,
We can just make one from scratch if we need to.
flat and mill.
It'll just be, 1/8 inch flat end mill. It's already got some speeds and feeds. Perfect.
So that's fine.
That is fine. We'll use flood coolant. So now we get into speeds and feeds. Let's try 20,000 RPM. Or wait, is this steel? This is steel. Do 500 SFM in the surface speed menu, which is like one down. A lot of those fields are like parametrically linked, where it will use math to calculate them based on the inputs that you give it. So like it just adjusted the spindle speed there based off of the surface speed.
Okay.
Feed per tooth, we'll go super conservative, like 7.5 tenths. So 0.00075. And the other ones there should be fine. Please hold on for a second as I pay attention to this. All right, it's doing the floor pass. See you, Harrison. I will send you a message if I'm still having trouble. Jacob, this is a framework 13 or 15? It's the smaller framework. 15. 13 would be tiny. That would be like my Surface. Okay, so now we need to set the step over. So like we just set how fast it's cutting. Now we need to set like how big of a bite it's cutting. So if you go to the second to last tab, it kind of looks like a cup of water. We can set our optimal load, which let's do, again, to be safe, like 20 thou. That's very conservative. And our step down, we can probably keep at full depth. So
This
just
one,
leave that
final?
there. What?
This one?
Yeah, that we'll just leave all that stuff there. That's fine. And press OK, and let's just see what this toolpath looks like. We'll have to come back and edit it some, but it'll prove that, yeah, it's at least trying to do the right thing. So we can do a few more improvements. Because we're going to salami slice this sucker, we want to go down quite a bit below the part. So if right-click on the toolpath over on the tree and hit Edit. Now go to the Heights tab, which is like the cube wearing an orange hat, and scroll down to bottom height, and where it says offset, make that like minus 67 thou. And our pockets are done. Oh.
67 is a weird number.
67 thou is approximately a 1/16 of an inch plus like 5 thou of clearance. That's where that number came from.
Okay.
And my arrow is pointing in exactly the wrong direction now.
Now I have a chunky T-nut.
But that, I mean, these look fine. What?
Now I have a chunky T-nut.
Now you have a chunky T-nut. All right, the next toolpath we're going to use is a flat. So flat is under the 3D menu. Just you're going to have to look for it. Yeah.
Flat.
And cut the surface speed by a little bit because this is going to be a finishing toolpath.
I have to find another tool.
No, the same tool should have automatically loaded. Yeah, it's there.
Okay, flat.
Cut the surface speed to like 300. Just to make it look nice and pretty. And go to the passes tab, which looks like a cup. Yep. And what's our step over? Make our step over like 50 thou or something. You could even do a little bit less. The Haas doesn't like a big step over. And turn on finishing passes. Yep. And give it a 5 thou finishing pass. And if you do that, it should, you can hit OK. That should finish all of the floors and the sidewalls there. Yep. Now do a 2D contour and go around the bottom. But I need to do this, focus on this for a second. OK. Guys, we're back over here. AJ's multitasking. I'm going to hang you up for a second, I think. Is there a better place to put you? What if I attached you to my cup? Hi, James. How's it going? I'll give you a summary in a second here. I'm moving my camera. I don't think the cup is going to work.
Not to distract you, but is there a good place to plug this in?
Not really, no.
Okay, well, it's not a pressing issue.
Yet.
No.
Hold on. I'm going to mute you guys and blow my nose. Okay. So we need to run some op ones. Let me put. Ooh, should I put the camera back in there for op ones?
He was streaming.
Hello. Hi, Dad. up.
It's a secret.
We are recording. We're just kind of live streaming. It's not, it's low quality recording, not high effort recording. But is that the package from we accidentally sent to Nate and Hannah? Or to Shelly and Dustin?
Where's the camera?
It's behind me there. It's my phone. Okay. Did you guys get to watch inside the machine for the Op 1? Because that's the fun one. You did avoid it. Here, I'm gonna put him back in the machine for a second. Are you here to do work, Dad? Okay. Then we might hang up the stream. All right, you guys get to see this one part cut, and then I think we're done. No. All right. Op 1. This one we know works so far. So no option stop. Is Harrison here? Harrison will appreciate this one. This one's fairly well optimized at this point. Let me make sure these are locked down. And are you guys in danger of falling? No, you're safe. All right. I think we're just good to hit go. Right? I'm going to turn off block delete. No, maybe I want to turn on block delete. The probing is optional, so I can turn it on or off. So when I actually go into production mode, I can just toggle a button that turns off this probing. But to be safe for now, we'll leave it on. What you doing? Oh, so we're a 2D contour. Click on the bottom ring of your part.
The bottom ring?
Like the outer edge of the rectangle. Yep, click there. So this is going to cut around the outside there.
I see.
And I'm not sure we'll need to mess with any other settings. I think you're just good to hit OK. Oh, hey, it's Gmo and Roman. Everybody's here. It's okay, they can only see the inside of the machine. Lunch? Oh, they're blue-pink cookies. Oh, I had rapids turned down still. Did I know everybody was coming over? Yes. No, I'm going to hang up as soon as this toolpath is done anyway. But no, you're outside of it.
I assume we have to make a hole.
What?
We have to make a hole.
We do have to make a hole. So how big is that hole?
3.3 millimeters.
Let's go to a 1/16 inch tool and we could. You've chosen the most awkward size. It's not your fault.
I was like, that's just the size it is.
I know. We could do a 2.5 millimeter tool. Yeah, let's do it. Let's use a 2.5 millimeter tool. So do a boring operation. It's under the 2D menu. And click on your hole there, the face. And now you're gonna have to probably go make a new tool. So if you go back to your tool library, I would just right click on that tool you already have there and hit duplicate, and then just change it.
Copy?
Sure, copy paste it.
Duplicate.
Oh, or duplicate. And then just change the diameter of it and change the name.
Edit. What am I calling? What size am I making this again?
2.5 millimeter.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, you can just type in 2.5 millimeter like normal. This one is in an ER20, guys. So most of my tool holders are ER16, but I have a couple ER20s for these half-inch tools.
Is everything else okay?
I could probably push this tool path quite a bit more. This is still sounding great. I think it's at 5 inch per tooth. It's at 500 or 5,300 RPM, which is probably like 600 SFM. Yeah, tool pullout has been an issue with these tool holders before. I do want to switch this to a hydraulic, I think. What?
Should I leave it?
Yeah, stuff's all fine. We are going to have to switch this to my Fusion account because since you're not on the paid version, so it doesn't let you do tool changes.
Okay.
But we'll get there. Set that to like just a 0.5 degree ramp angle in the passes tab. That's a little chattery. That didn't sound good. It sounded fine last time. I wonder why it was different this time. Timmy, what do I think of the crazy cheap sets of tool holders? Honestly, at this point, it's as cheap or cheaper to get them on Haas Tools, which is at least a known quality. So I wouldn't bother with them. I would just go wait until a sale on Haas Tools and buy them there.
Should I change the height on my bore?
Yeah, so I would make the top height like 10 thou above top, and then I would let the bottom height go down like 20 thou below.
The retract height?
No, so there's top height and bottom height.
Clearance height. Top
Nope,
height.
top height and bottom height.
Okay, I don't remember the numbers.
10 thou above, 20 thou below. I forgot that was iced tea and not water. That was surprising.
Okay.
Sunshine, no, he's not. And you guys see how it's doing that like funny little retract move? I can turn that off. I just have it on right now for safety. It just goes to a safe position between whenever it does a work coordinate system change. So now we need to do the salami slice, I think, right? Actually, we should do chamfering first. So the chamfer toolpath just works like the 2D contour, except you select the top, and you need to find a chamfer tool. And yes, guys, that is just full slotting right there.
Is it called a chamfering
And it
tool?
comes back for a finishing pass. What? So you can filter by, yeah, engraving / chamfer tool.
You're all huge.
Just choose one. I think we're gonna swap out the tools with the ones that are in my library later.
Okay.
That's not what that's supposed to look like. That's a weird one. Is there not just a normal? Yeah, use that one. We'll use the exact same tool paths and everything, but we'll swap it out with the tools in my library since we're running it on the Haas.
Okay. What am I chamfering?
Everything.
Everything. Everything on top?
And those. It's not going to be able to access all the sides. I think I just spat at you a little bit. It's not going to be able to access those sides there, but it will automatically avoid them.
Okay.
In the passes tab, you need to give it a chamfer size, which I'd probably, maybe if you scroll down, maybe. Yeah, the chamfer width, I would do probably 10 thou.
Is that it? You want me to leave the feed and speed the same?
What?
You want me to leave the feed and speed the same?
Yeah. We'll check those later. When we switch to my tool library, it'll automatically have them.
There's an error.
Um,
Too large. That makes
It's
sense.
fine, we'll fix that later.
It's gigantic.
it is a gigantic chamfer tool, yeah. Sunshine, this is not a garage. This is a pole barn. And I don't know, it's probably always been this big. I haven't added anything to it for sure. There used to be horses in here. It used to be stables. If anything, we've made it smaller by sectioning it off different rooms.
I mean, it was like that when you bought it.
It was like that. Well, no, we added the
Okay, that wasn't.
we added the grinding room and the powder coat booth.
Fair.
All right, guys, I think that ends it. Bye. This time I remembered where the button was.